Hey, welcome to Mind Your Own Biz, the podcast where we help small business owners with big dreams build something authentically you. I'm Alicia Yervis, educator, marketer, designer, nacho enthusiast, and your big sister in business. I'm excited for us to have this cozy spot to chat. Each episode, we'll tackle candid conversations, actionable tips, and a few fun tangents to help you run your business your way. Because business is always personal, no matter what anyone says. So grab your iced coffee or those nachos and let's get started. Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Own Biz. My name is Alicia Yervis. I'm your host. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you know I have a colorful office space. I've got a pink sequin curtain behind me. I've got rainbow, colorful ball garland hanging behind me. I've got sparkly lights and all kinds of doodads and knickknacks around me. And I try to pull that into my branding, my website, my social media content, my marketing, all that kind of stuff. And I've been doing that for a long time. I opened my business in 2017, and I always wanted to have it feel fun and sparkly and colorful and celebratory, because that's the stuff that I love looking at. That's the stuff I buy when I'm browsing in Marshalls or a cute little gift shop or whatever, right? And so I'm really, really excited about today's guest because this is a woman that I have known since 2017. Um, because I found her through a colleague's blog where she was talking about this woman's business. And as soon as I saw what it was about, I was like, that is so cool. I need to meet this person. And so I am really excited to welcome Jessica Sarah Huizenga today. She is the owner of something called the Confetti Bar. And back in 2017, I was, like I said, just starting my business, and I was looking for, cute like things and ways to stand out in my marketing and in my client welcome kits that I would send out. This was all pre-pandemic, so I was doing things a little bit differently, but um, in one of my colleagues' blogs, I heard about the Confetti Bar, and I heard about this awesome confetti artist, Jessica, who would create custom confetti blends for anything, whether it was parties, corporate events, anniversaries, your favorite colors, sports teams, whatever it was. And I was like, I need to ask her if I can get a custom confetti blend in my brand colors, because then I can sprinkle a little bit of joy into any like tangible little envelope or package I was sending out. Now, of course, I think it's joyful. I understand there's people out there that are like, oh my God, don't send me confetti, but those people are not my people. Okay. And so I knew that if I could, have something like that that was special, not just like a bag of confetti I buy at Amazon or something, but like handcrafted. Her stuff was like all unique shapes. She had sequins in there. She had recycled materials, all kinds of stuff in every shade of color in the universe. And I just thought it was so cool. So anyway, I reached out and I actually won. She was running some sort of promotion or contest at the time, and I won a custom blend of confetti from the Confetti Bar. And it was in my brand colors, and I still have some of it to this day. And that was in 2017. So a little goes a long way. And I've been sprinkling it into company holiday cards ever since. Like I said, my welcome kits that I was doing, different packages and different things. And so this conversation feels like a full circle moment because Jessica and her confetti have been with me from day one. She's my ride or die. And I'm really excited because we've never actually spent FaceTime together. We've talked a lot over the years, but never actually spent, one-on-one time like this. So if you're watching the video version of this, I'm going to show a few pics of the confetti blend that she made for me. I'm going to show that later. It's one of my favorite little treasures. So I just love her brand because it's all about joy and fun and chaos in the best way. It's so much more than confetti, it's color therapy, it's emotional permission, it's celebration of imperfection. And you know that that is what I love. So this is going to be about creativity. It's going to be about like embracing those messes, joy and color, and just the business of spreading happiness. So A little bit about my guest. Jessica Sarah Huizenga is an artist, author, and photographer based in Connecticut. She runs the Confetti Bar, a lifestyle brand and artisanal confetti studio that believes in embracing beautiful messes. She delights in creating unique, bright, and engaging content that makes people smile. At the core of everything she does is her mission to spread magic, color, inspiration, and of course, confetti. You can find personal updates on Instagram at Jessica Sarah Huizenga. Plus, follow her adventures in Confetti Land at www.theconfettibar.com and on Instagram at the Confetti Bar. And I'm going to make sure to link to all of that in the show notes as well, so you can conveniently grab it for there or grab it right there. But I am so excited to welcome my friend Jessica Huizenga. Hi, Jessica. I am so excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much for agreeing to join me today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Aw, so sweet. And I have to tell you, I specifically wore things that light me up and make me feel joyful. So I've got my Rainbow Bright t-shirt on. I
Yay.
have my Lollipop Rainbow earrings on. Um, and of course, I have the pink sparkles behind me. And I
Mhm.
need to start this episode with a pop of confetti. So here we go.
Here we go.
I just threw it.
Yay. Perfect. I've never felt more welcome.
If those of you are not watching this on YouTube, go watch on YouTube to see my confetti pop just now. Okay.
It's a must.
So as I mentioned in the intro, like I have known about you for years. I found you on somebody's blog back in the day, and just seeing what you were doing at the time with, these custom confetti blends, I was like, record scratch. I'm sorry, what? Like that is so cool. I need to meet this person and learn more about your business. So I feel like you had told me one day, like you woke up one day and just said, like, I want to start a confetti shop. So can you take us back to that moment?
I can. So that moment was in February of 2013, I believe it was. And I've always been a creative person, and I've done a lot of different things. I've had a lot of different craft blogs. I made jewelry for a while. I was always dabbling. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so, color and artistry and creativity, it's always been a part of my life. And I literally woke up one day, and the first thought out of my mouth, as I said to my husband, I was like, I want to start a confetti shop. And he knew me enough by then to be like, okay. And so, to his credit, he was like rolling with it. But I think it really just came from, so I used to collect as part of, I would call it my therapy. I used to collect, you could get these like mixed bags of like sequins and confetti. Um, and I would just sit there and like sort it into those little like bead organizers. So I'd think, okay, all the flamingos go over here, all the pink sequins go over here. And it was just very meditative.
Mm-hmm.
So it must have kind of subconsciously hit me one day that, confetti is supposed to be this thing that is the ultimate symbol of celebration. But at the time, nobody was making like really fun looking confetti. It was just kind of the flat
Mm-hmm.
metallic pieces. Um, and so it just sort of like must have simmered in my brain, as most ideas do. And I woke up that day and was like, I'm going to try it. And that's where I am 11 plus years later.
Amazing, amazing. And what, like, when you think about actual confetti, like tangible actual confetti, what made you, or when did you kind of realize that that could be more than just like a party supply? Like, how did you kind of make that shift in your mind and think like, oh, this could really be like an art form and a lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for that when I know the exact moment. I think so. When I did first start my business, at the very beginning, it was more so kind of repackaging kind of the metallic confetti that you would
Mm-hmm.
see at any kind of party store. But I just started with kind of putting it in like these fun little jars and things like that. I think that was very short lived. Like, I don't even think that was a couple of months. And then very quickly I was like, well, let me like make my own confetti, because I'm always like such a mixed media person. I don't like to use just any one material. And to me, confetti was this opportunity. I was like, well, okay, there's all these metallic pieces, but what if I had paper to it? What if I had these cutouts and all the things? So very quickly I started, shredding my own paper and adding different bits to it. I remember in the beginning I was like cutting up ribbons and kind of anything that I could cut up that had some sort of texture or color to it, I was putting it in confetti. So pretty early on, it started with just sort of the artistry of the mix itself. And then
Hmm.
from there, I just would transition like, okay, I'm making all this confetti, but the number one question I would get asked a lot in the beginning was like, oh my God, like I love your confetti, but what do I do with it? So that's when I started doing more kind of craft projects and incorporating it into other things. And then in the beginning, it was very much more kind of the crafty aspect of it. And then just over time, I started thinking in terms of confetti and everything that I did. And so anytime I was making something, I was like, well, how do I add confetti to this? And anytime I have a new artistic hobby, I'm like, okay, but how do I incorporate confetti? So that's how my mind works.
I love that. And so talking about like how like what do I use it for? Like what do I do with it? So I was saying in the intro, like when I won that pack of custom confetti for you, which actually I'm gonna share my screen right now because I want to show a picture because I don't have as much that is shown in this picture, but this is the blend. So those of you watching on YouTube, go over on YouTube and check it out. So this is a pack I got from Jessica in 2017. And at the time, I was going hard into, well, hot pink is still part of my brand to this day, for sure. But I was going more with like black and white photography with pops of hot pink. So that's what I was doing at the time. But because I have black and white and silver and like iridescent in there, it still works for my current brand, which is a little more on the rainbow side now. But anyway, if you see this picture, it's literally like this nice scoop, and it was like a good amount. And I would do a little sprinkle in my company holiday cards, in my client welcome kits. I wanted them to basically like realize that we're starting a party, like let's do this together. And people like every year they would be like, "Oh, the confetti's coming." Like they knew I was going to put it in the holiday card. Um, so I loved being able to do that. And like I said, I still have some left. And it's just so much fun. It's totally different. It makes you stand out. I'm talking about like on the business owner side, if you were going to use it in your marketing or whatever. And it's just fun. It's tangible. So I love that so much. And one thing that I saw, again, like as your business has evolved and you've added new products and all this kind of stuff, I was browsing through your shop last night on the confettibar.com. I need to know about prescription confetti. Please talk to me about prescription confetti.
Yes. So it is a fan favorite. So that one, I'm trying to think, it was probably maybe around 5 years or so by now, that I kind of came up with that concept. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that I don't even remember exactly how I thought of it. But it's the idea, over time, I've obviously thought about confetti a lot and I spend a lot of time thinking about it. And really the idea of like kind of the healing power of it, right? And how it's more than just a party celebration, piece of decor, kind of all the happy things that have to go along with confetti. And, as someone who has struggled with different mental health issues throughout my life, I always say like confetti has been kind of what saves me. And so just kind of playing off of that whole concept of, you need to kind of intentionally look for joy sometimes. And so having the idea of a prescription bottle of confetti where it's like, no, I'm telling you, like, this is what you need. So it's meant to be
Hmm.
kind of a fun reminder. And then obviously when I was looking through everything and sourcing, pink bottles obviously had to happen. And we've done a couple of versions of this as well. The pink one is like the the main version, but we've done one that
Hmm.
was a bottle of sunshine and a yellow bottle. I did a collaboration once with Cindy Spiegel where we did some
Mm.
biodegradable confetti in a purple bottle. And so I do also have a couple of ideas for maybe some other variations, but
Ooh.
it's definitely one of my favorites.
I love it. And I just pulled it up on screen here for those that want to see it. Check it out on YouTube. I just love how it looks. It's just so fun. And you literally say, like, don't forget to take your daily dose of happy. The prescription confetti is just what the doctor ordered. I just like, it's so creative. I love it so, so much. And of course it's popular with your audience. Like it totally makes sense. And yeah, like I have sent people your way. Like I'm always telling people like you've got to look at her stuff like what you were saying earlier about the different materials that you use or the different shapes, the different, everything. Like What does your storage situation look like these days for for all of that stuff?
Well, I am very grateful at this point. In our house, we have quite a large basement. So I just have a bunch of shelves down there that everything goes into. I have this giant bookshelf that has followed me everywhere, that the Confetti Bar has followed me, that I just have all of like my cardstock and paper, and it's in rainbow order, and it's all just right there for me to grab. Um, it's everywhere. I'm in my office here now. I have a closet full of stuff. It's all over.
Confetti hangs around, so it's going to be all
Yes,
over.
yes.
And to that point, you know, one of the things that you say on your website, like with your mission, is to inspire you to make and embrace beautiful messes. So, what does that mean to you, like personally and creatively?
Yeah, I mean, personally, it's the reminder that I need for myself. And that's kind of, as I said, what the Confetti Bar has become to me in every season of my life. So I've done this for over 11 years. There's been a lot of different seasons of life within that time. And it's always kind of in retrospect that I realize the Confetti Bar is really like the manifestation of whatever it is like I need at that time. So the idea of making and embracing beautiful messes, it's not perfect. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. And I've been very clear about that from the very beginning of this business, where it's very easy for people to kind of see confetti and color and think, oh, it's just like all fun and games. Everything is just bright and happy. I really am careful. Like, I never want to be kind of on the side of like toxic positivity or anything like that. It's more
Mm-hmm.
about the fact that despite all of the bad things that are going to happen in life, because they are, and all of the sad things and all of the hard things, that we do have to take that time to look for the joy and to make it an intentional part of our lives. And it
Mm-hmm.
is messy. Life is messy. Like, no matter how you slice it, it just is, or at least mine is. I don't know. I'm
Oh yeah.
hopeful that everyone can relate, but
Of course, yes.
so it's really, again, it's that reminder that I constantly need, because I myself, like, I'm as someone who has confetti literally everywhere all the time. Even I find myself sometimes like, oh no, like I don't want to make a mess, and I have to even constantly remind myself, like, no, like that's the beauty of it. So a
Mm-hmm.
couple years back, um, again, the brand has kind of evolved over the years, even though the core and the confetti has always remained constant. But really trying to distill down, like, what is it that I'm trying to say? And the concept of making beautiful messes, embracing beautiful messes, really feels like the culmination of everything I'm trying to do here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It makes sense. Like, and of course, you know, everyone's lives, everyone's businesses have the ups and downs and all of that stuff. And I think at some point I had seen you speak about this, maybe in a different interview or on your blog. I can't remember where, but you were talking about like everything will be okay. You know, like we go through these different seasons in our life, in our business, all that kind of stuff. And so I think anyone can relate to that, for sure. And I wonder too, like when you're talking about like color and confetti, like when I think of that, it's so joyful. It's like fun, it's happy, just like kind of by default. But confetti, if you actually think about the tangible like pieces of it, it also can be about complexity and chaos and, you know, emotions and all that stuff. So
Mm.
what does, well, what does color mean to you? Let's start with that. What does color mean to you?
Color to me is emotion. Like, it's a
Mm.
vibe. It's how you're feeling. It's a state of being more than it is to me just like the physical kind of color that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it is a big part of everything that I love and do, because I am a feelings feeler. I'm someone who feels a lot of different feelings. And so to me, all the different colors represent that. And I love when
Mm-hmm.
you get to mix them together in one big, beautiful pile. And as you said, it is, to me, the symbolism of confetti is always like a metaphor for life. And it is the idea, like, okay, you throw confetti, like you're letting go, like physically letting
Mm.
go of the confetti. But also, I like to take that kind of deeper meaning of like, you don't know where it's going to land or where it's going to go. It's going to make a mess, but you're intentionally giving into that and you're surrendering to it. And like, that's the beauty of it.
Mm. I love that. Yeah, when you were saying like you don't know where it's gonna land, it's like when you think of being risk takers as entrepreneurs. Uh, Maybe you're also parenting, or you're going out on a big adventure that you've never taken before, and thinking of confetti in that way is that's really fun. I hadn't thought of that. And also I appreciate what you're saying too about feeling all the feelings and embracing all the feelings, not just the happy ones. Like, we all are so complex, like we are dealing with so much in our lives. So that makes a lot of sense too. And I'm curious, before I move on to this next section that I wanted to talk about, when you're making like I know you make custom blends and things like that too. Like, what's the wildest or a standout custom blend that someone asked for that you were just like, I can't believe how crazy this is, or I can't believe how cool this came out. Like, tell us about some of those unique blends you've made.
Oh gosh, there have been so many over the years. The one that immediately pops into my mind, one time we actually did a custom mix for Cottonelle, and I actually cut up
Mm.
like actual toilet paper and
So fun.
so that was one. I mean, we've done so many. We put coffee beans in mixes,
Ooh.
all of those. I One of the things that also like made my life one time. It wasn't the mix itself, but I had someone reach out to me and she was like, "Oh, I love your business. I want to cover my sister in confetti." And she was like telling me like she's like roughly the size of a sheepdog, and I'm gonna like do all this stuff. And like just like the concept of like people were having fun with it and doing really crazy and unique things, like that's always been really special to me. Um,
Hmm.
so there's just a few of them, but yeah, there's been a lot of
I
custom.
love the toilet paper thing. That's so creative to think of using that as actually part of the shred in the
Mm-hmm.
blend. Makes so much sense, but I love that. So
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah, I
Um,
even had someone like they'll sometimes send me something. So I had a company once, and they had like kind of their company like flyers or information, and they were some of kind of their leftover brochures, and like they wanted me to incorporate that as part of their mix.
oh,
So repurposing kind of stuff like that. So yeah, it's been
that's so
fun.
cool. I love that. I'm friendly for the environment.
Yeah.
Recycling, love that. So when you're actually running a business that's like so rooted in joy and creativity, like what's some of the really, really fun parts, and then what are some of the super challenging parts about that?
Well, the really fun parts, I mean, making confetti is fun. Like,
Yeah,
it
that's
just
just a
is.
given.
um, and just like being able to be creative and think of, fun different ways to use it. And again, not just the confetti itself, but like what is the lifestyle of confetti and what are products and things that go into that. And I love that creative process of like product creation and like from end to end, like thinking about it, sourcing the materials, what's the packaging look like, all of that is really fun
Hmm.
for me. Not so fun is trying to monetize your creativity, and
Mm.
kind of the separation of, even though I put so much of my heart and soul into this, like how much money I make off of it isn't a direct reflection of like how much worth I have as a person. So that's
Hmm.
a tough part. The not fun parts of business, well, not fun to me is like the things like bookkeeping and all that kind of
Yep.
you got to do, but maybe isn't so fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, the things like that.
It's funny what you said too about like, okay, how am I going to turn my passion into profit, like without losing the magic of it? And the the headspace you need to be in to do that. I mean, knowing like, okay, I opened my business with a goal of making money. I want to do other things too. There's other goals, but like I do want to make money. But it could be hard. That constant churn, the constant, like I hate the word like, hustle culture. Like I hate that. But there is like a hustle element of like, okay, like I've got to do stuff I don't really maybe want to do, but I've got to make some money here. So I completely relate to what you're saying. And I don't have like a solution. I'm just like seeing you and validating and saying like it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm curious about like if you've done any projects or maybe collaborations or different things, just like different moments that made you think like, yeah, this is exactly what I was meant to do. Like I'm feeling so in the zone and fulfilled in this moment or on this project or dealing with this person. Like has anything like that happened?
It definitely has, but I would say it's more so less on kind of like a collaboration side, but it's more like a personal sense of fulfillment when I'm like working on something where it's just like that inspiration strikes me and I feel so much like this is a part of me and I was meant to
Hmm.
do this. I was meant to create this piece of art. And then inevitably, especially kind of on the art side, if I create a piece of art and like someone purchases it, like that to me is the ultimate fulfillment. Like, oh, someone saw what I was trying to do, or someone saw something in it and they felt some type of way when viewing something that I made. And so like it's honestly that kind of like fulfillment. Or if, someone will email me like, oh my God, I'm so happy I found your site. Like, this is amazing. Like those
Hmm.
little moments more than any kind of big moment or big collaboration, I
Hmm.
think are really what light me up. Um, and then it is there is an amount of collaboration as well. And I would say like with the children's book that we wrote, so a few years back, me and Alexis, my partner in confetti crime, our head of happiness at the Confetti Bar, we co-wrote "Twas the Night Before Christmas" in Confetti Land, and then Becca Story Smith was our illustrator. So like the collaboration on that project was really special to me. And again, it was also that part of like kind of having an idea, putting it together, seeing it come to life, having official books printed with spot glitter on the cover and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
That was also a really fulfilling moment.
That is so cool. I'm going to link to all of that in the show notes because that is so unique. I'm actually going to pull it up right now because I just looked it up on your site. Um, that is so adorable. The cover of the book is so pretty. I love all the colors. This is so awesome that you did this. I didn't realize that. Wow. 'Twas the night
Yeah.
before Christmas in Confetti Land. Wow, you guys have to see this. Go on YouTube and watch this. This is so cool. And Jessica has it on her site here. A picture book adaptation of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas with a confetti twist. I love that. Wow. Congratulations on that.
Thank
So
you. And this
cool.
is really one like, I think this is a good example of like not waiting for someone else to give you permission to like do something for
Mm,
you, because like we didn't publish this through a publisher. Like we completely self-published it. I was on the phone with like Chinese factories who were going to print the book and like getting virtual tours and things like that, and like had to really learn
mm,
the process from end to end. But it was one of those things where I feel so strongly about this and am having so much fun doing it. Like I'm going to make it the way I want to make it. And I'm not going to let anyone else tell me I can or can't, or it has to be this or it has to be that. And so I am really, really proud of that one.
you're speaking my love language right now. Like everything you just said. Like, I'm gonna find my own way. I'm gonna do it the way I want it. No one's gonna tell me no. I don't have to follow like some preset mold. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. And you did it. And you're a published author, and that's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Um, So I want to talk a little bit about community, because I know that the Confetti Bar it's both like a brand and it's a space and it's a shop. It's like all these different things. And you've talked about how, one of the things you're trying to put out there is that it's for a place for people who maybe don't feel like they fit in, and often that is like the creatives, the dreamers, the feelers, the seekers, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And so how do you, as a business owner, and while marketing your business and trying, obviously you want people to buy stuff, but how do you talk about that through, or how do you talk about that kind of stuff to your audience and kind of spread that message? Because I know I was looking and I saw, I know you have a newsletter, but you also, I think, have a magazine, or a club or something. Tell us
Yeah,
about that stuff.
yeah. So we have our email list, which is we call it Confetti Club. So that's kind of just our general updates. Sometimes it's messages from me, some new products, whatever that might be.
Hmm.
We do have an email journal club, so that's kind of a shorter series where we have a messy thoughts journal that you can download, but then through the email, like you'll get a prompt every day for 10 days. And so it's just kind of
Hmm.
a little bit of accountability and to kind of keep it fresh in your inbox. Um, our magazine, so we do have 101 Things to Do with Confetti is kind of our
Hmm.
magazine. And again, that goes back to everyone always used to ask me. And over the years, I've collected a number of things to do with it. So we have a physical magazine that you can purchase, but we also it's a free download when you join our email list, and you can flip through the pages and see all the ideas. Um, and then obviously, social media and all of those fun things. But that's really the core. I like to think of our email list, the Confetti Club, like that's really my personal space where I get to send messages and things like that, and have
Mm-hmm.
that very honest space that I can just share my thoughts and have it out to the real core of who I call the Confetti Tribe.
And are you talking about in that space, are you talking about life? Are you talking about family? Are you talking about the store? Are you talking about being a business owner? Are you just kind of a mixed, is it a confetti mixed bag of
It
all kinds of
really
stuff?
is. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. You pretty much get everything there. Sometimes it's like more of a personal note from me, an
Mm-hmm.
anecdote or something that happened. It is where we announce new products and kind of have all of the e-commerce side of our business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sometimes I'll just send like random compliments and things like that because I think that's fun. Um, I sometimes do a series where I'll kind of deep dive into a topic and it's just like more of my thoughts, but it's like a really visual kind of email that incorporates art and kind of my thoughts about it, um,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
Cool. I love that. Yeah. And I love that you're being intentional too about not only about marketing your business, but about finding all these ways to connect with your audience. Even if they haven't purchase something yet, they're getting to know you. And that's something that I believe super strongly. Like people want that, they want to know and work with and buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And, by you sharing your heart and sharing these updates and, whether it's an Instagram reel or a newsletter or whatever the thing is, it's like there's literally a person behind the scenes. Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm the artist. I'm, making these pieces for you. And so I love that. And it makes you stay front of mind for when they're ready to buy that confetti for their event or that really cool art piece or that gift or, whatever the thing is. And I wonder with everything that you've done in your business and the stuff that you make and you create, what is it like to know that your confetti has literally been part of people's biggest life moments? Whether that's, a gender reveal or a wedding or, whatever.
I mean, I love it. I feel so honored to be, I always call it, it's usually a small but a big part of some of those kind of larger celebrations, I'll call it. But I'll be honest, I get even more satisfaction over knowing like someone just wanted a jar of it on their desk, or they
Hmm.
had a friend who was going through a hard moment and they wanted to send them something. Like to me, it's always more about like, and that's what I like to see the confetti about. Like, yes, it can certainly be used for the big moments. I'm never gonna diss a big moment, but I want it to become part of someone's everyday. Like it's about the small moments because those are the ones that in my mind like truly matter. Those are the ones that make you who you are and all of those
Hmm.
things. So I love that even more when confetti is just part of these kind of everyday little small rituals, even more
Hmm.
so than kind of the big celebration.
And I love that reframe of it too, because it's like you don't need an excuse. You don't need a special occasion.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally hear you on that. And I wonder too, like, when you're doing all of this kind of creative work and you're churning out all these products and you have to deal with shipping and like all these things, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of work on the back end because you're also creating content and all of this. How do you refill your own cup so that you can keep doing that and keep showing up for other people and also showing up for your family?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not always easy. I'm not gonna lie. It is helpful for me that like doing creative things is what refuels me. So in a lot of ways, just sort of sitting in my office at night when it's dark and looking at confetti and paint and whatever else I have around and just trying to be creative in that, like it is a little bit dual purpose. Like, yes, it could be for my business, but it is truly like what I enjoy. And there are so many things I make that never see a photo on Instagram or anything like that. They're
Mm-hmm.
just sort of the things for me. So I am grateful for that. But a lot of times too, like I can't force creativity. So
Right.
honestly, I call it disco necting because I love disco balls. And it sounds more fun. Um,
So good.
I
So good.
have like a setting on my phone that says disconnecting from reality. We have shirts. We have the whole thing.
Love it.
But
Love it. Love it.
I'll just try and shut out the world. Like I need time to just be with me, and whether it's taking a bath, whether it's reading a book, whether it's watching some trashy television show, like whatever it is that just like gets me out of my own head and my own life for a little bit. Like sometimes I need that little bit of distinction, separation,
Yeah,
disconnection.
totally, totally. And speaking of trashy television, fill in the blanks for us on that. What trashy television do you love?
So one of my go-tos is definitely the Real Housewives, but only certain cities. So it's like
Okay.
Orange County, Beverly Hills are the main ones I'll watch. Salt Lake City too, I guess.
Okay.
Um, but it also gives me like, I won't want to call it anxiety, but like there's something about it that I like. I hate to love to watch it. It's just so much like you can't look away, but I'm also like, why am I watching this? But I also love it. So,
Hmm.
you know.
That's how I am about Jersey Shore and Love is Blind. For
Yes.
some
Yep.
reason, like I have never watched like The Bachelor or like any of those dating shows.
Same.
For some reason, Netflix Love is Blind has me in a chokehold because they release a new season every 14 seconds and I have to like consume it immediately. And I'm like, my friend and I watch it all together and I'm just like, we just look at each other and I'm just like, why are we watching this? But you can't not.
I know. Well, I'll be honest. I think it's like just like a study in human psychology. And, as someone I like to think about, as a marketer, as a creator, like what makes people do the things they do. And
Hmm.
obviously I know like there's some element of television that isn't quite reality, but just the fact that someone still like wanted us to perceive this as reality is also very interesting to me.
Right, especially because now, like, as you know, reality's been around for quite some time now. So now you have stories of people who were some of the earlier reality stars talking about, like, oh, and by the way, I wasn't allowed to say blah, 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 or I had to redo the script, scripted line, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my God, like, everything's a lie. Going back to like WWF, like, not being real. Like,
Yeah.
oh
But
my
that's
God,
why
so
to me
funny.
that's the disconnecting. It's like I need to get
Yeah.
him. I know it's ridiculous. I know like this isn't reality, but like that's what just my mind needs to escape into this place.
Totally get it. Totally get it. And when you're talking too about like, okay, I'm in this creative space, I'm in this zone, like what I'm creating is like an extension of me. It's just like that's happened to me too. Like if I'm designing, branding or a website or whatever, and it's just like there's that moment where, because you said you can't force creativity, you're totally 1,000% right on that, where it finally clicks and you're just like, boop, 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 boop. You're like, in the zone and you're just flowing.
Mhm.
What does your, mad scientist lab situation look like? Like when you're in that creative process developing like a new confetti blend or a new product or a new line of something, like what is your process like during that?
I mean, it's messy, but it's beautiful.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very tactile person, and that's the part.
Hmm.
Like, and I love photography and digital art, and there's certainly a place for some stuff like that. But I am such like I need to feel it, I need to touch it, I need to create something with my hands. So it's always there's stuff all over. I'll pull out whatever supplies that I need, and they're all over my office, they're all over our house, wherever it is, and I'm like fully immersed in that, and I need everything just out so I can see it, and I'm grabbing something from over here and cutting something over here, and it's just sort of it is all over. But I love like being that immersed in it, and I do find like that is my creative process. Like, I'm kind of an all or nothing. Like, I'm either going to be doing like all the things, constantly working at it. There's stuff everywhere, or like I'm going to be under a blanket for like 3 weeks straight. Like, there's no real in between for me. And so I do love when I get those kind of creative sparks, and when I get an idea and it just sort of clicks, like there's no stopping me. Like I'm in it and I'm full force, and I just sort of get this like tunnel vision.
Yeah, and then you have to just like keep your foot on the gas until it's complete, right? Like you
Mhm.
got to go full
Mhm.
out all the way.
Yep.
I love it. And you've said before too that your mom really inspires you. And so I'm curious, like, how does that relationship or how has that relationship influenced your creativity or your approach to business? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So my mom and I actually we started a sister brand a little over a year ago. It's called Joy Shop. And it's a sister brand to the Confetti Bar that really is about gift giving, and we curate
Hmm.
these kind of specialty unique gifts. But her and I have always like that's kind of been the special thing that we do together is we like to go out. We've always done like fun things for celebrations. Like she was the one who made like the graveyard cake for Halloween and would kind of add these special touches to our family gatherings. And we've always tried to kind of have fun. We do like an annual Halloween. My birthday's on Halloween, so we did a lot of Halloween stuff.
Oh.
But so we have like this annual Halloween dinner where we like, really go all out with all the food. Like, we have the hot dog mummies and mashed potato
Hmm.
ghosts and all that kind of stuff. So she's always been kind of someone that has also infused some of that playfulness and fun into celebrations and gift giving and making people feel special in that way, and like being a hostess. She had a big Italian family, and so we always had events and things like that. And so I kind of got a lot of that from her. And it's been fun to kind of, and I'm not going to lie, as a teenage girl, often our relationship with our mother can sometimes be a little rocky.
Oh
Um,
yes, been there.
so,
Sorry, mom. Sorry, mom.
yeah. So, we've had some ups and downs, but like, now that I'm a mother and kind of have that new perspective and things like that, to kind of come back as an adult and start a creative business with her, it's just like a new dynamic to our relationship. And it's been fun to sort of explore a new version of our mother-daughter-ness.
That's so sweet. It sounds like the confetti doesn't fall too far from the tree.
And to her
And
credit, when I told her, so when I started the Confetti Bar, as we mentioned, I woke up and said, okay, I'm going to do this. That was in February when I woke up and said it. June 1st of that year is when we first launched the Confetti Bar. 6 months after that was when I decided I wanted to quit my full-time job at the time to do confetti full-time. And at the time, my husband and I were living with my mom and my stepdad. And I remember sitting down with them and like kind of nervous to have this conversation, like, hey guys, I'm going to quit my job and make confetti in your basement. And to her credit and my stepdad's credit, like they were all for it. Like they've always supported everything that I've wanted to do. So props to mom.
Oh, round of applause to them. Love that story. Yeah, I had started my business as a side hustle at first while I was working in a theater. I come from a theater arts marketing background. And I had spent 15 years doing that, and I was helping folks on the side. And then I started taking it a little more seriously, and then eventually I got too busy to keep doing both things. And I never intended to own my own business or kind of, do that, but everyone had been encouraging me to do it, and I'm like, I don't even know how you math. Like, what is math? Like, I don't know. And it was 6 months for me too, from when I got my LLC to when I went full time. So I super relate to that. And I too had the nervous conversation with my parents. Hi, I'm doing this. So I love that you had that support. I had support as well. But I love that. I love that for you. And happy early birthday. That's so exciting. That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to do a little rapid fire. Pop culture stuff, personal favorites, that kind of thing. I'm curious, do you have favorite color combo of all time or favorite color combos or hues that you just really love?
Oh, oh my goodness. That's such a tough question because I literally have so many combinations. And that's part of why I do what I do. So I don't have to pick just one. Um, There's definitely pink. I mean, pink is always a standout. And I
Hmm.
do love like a rainbow, but like a non-traditional rainbow where instead of red, it has some pink and it's got more shades of all of the colors. That's
Hmm.
really my go-to because again, I can't just pick one color, so I need them all. Um,
Hmm.
and then adding some gold in there too is always a fun one. I
Mm.
also really love, because again, I do love disco balls, not just for their look, but also for the metaphor of them as well. But silver and pink is also a combination that I'm really enjoying lately.
Mm. Hmm.
So those are a couple that come to
Love
mind.
it. All right, cool. What is your favorite playlist that you're listening to right now, or your favorite artist or album? Like, what's on Spotify while you're working?
Okay, so I'm terrible. So like I actually work in silence most of the time, and I know like
Wow.
I'm not
Okay.
norm of that. My husband is like he needs constant music or something happening, but I like to be alone with my thoughts. I love to be in the
Okay.
zone and just like thinking. But when it comes to music, I'm like I'm a mood music person. And I
Mm-hmm.
actually really like more like sad songs than anything. I don't really listen to
Okay.
a lot of like upbeat stuff, which might be kind of silly, but
You
again,
are an enigma, Jessica. You're an enigma.
I know. How does that feelings feel? Like I do love like being in my feelings. I love like just
Mm-hmm.
the humanness of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do like to listen to more kind of like moody, creamy songs. But what I
Hmm.
usually do is like I just have my list on Spotify where like anytime I hear a song that just like gives me some reaction where I'm just like, ooh, like yes, I add it to a favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just pick one of those favorites at like whatever kind of vibe I'm really feeling, and then just make a radio off of that. And I just listen to like radio playlists. I don't sit down and like listen to an album or like a particular
Mm-hmm.
artist. I just like go by my vibe.
Got it. Got it. Love it. Yeah, I make playlists for every occasion. I have like so many playlists. And that's amazing that you create all this stuff in silence. I would have never thought that. But that's your preference. I love it. You got to do what you got to do. Um, are there any like, well, you mentioned the toilet paper before, but I was curious if there are any other like super random objects or things that you have turned into confetti or turned into an art piece, like something super unusual. Although I don't know if you'll get much more unusual than toilet paper, but
That's really the standout. I think that's probably like the most unusual, I would say.
yeah.
As I mentioned, I've done stuff where people kind of want to recycle some pamphlets or brochures or things like that. I
Hmm.
have put like pennies in a mix. Someone like had a thing for
Ah,
pennies, so I've added those into a mix.
hmm,
Um,
that's
but yeah,
interesting.
toilet paper is probably the most the most unique.
So what is next for the confetti bar? Like, do you have stuff that you're planning right now on the horizon, whether that's a new product, a new event, a new, I don't know, a new tool you're excited to use? Like, tell me what's coming up for this season. You're about to get into the crazy holiday season.
Yes, yes. I mean, really, so we also have a podcast for the Confetti Bar called Greetings from Confetti Land. So we're recording season 4 for that. So usually like that's like the big moment whenever we're active in a season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like the big thing on the list. And with this season, like thinking about having a little more fun with it and doing some more kind of like fake ads like for our own products and having like some video components and stuff like
That's
that.
fun.
So that's something that we're playing with. But otherwise, like for me, it's really focusing on art. And like that's really like just the season of my life that I'm in right now is just like this something in me that's just like you need to make more art. And I just have all of these
Mm.
ideas. I make confetti geodes. And so I've been really feeling called like I have some more of those and like bigger sizes and some different things to do with that. And just playing around with more kind of abstract art that incorporates confetti has really been kind of my mode right now.
Confetti geode is not a phrase I've ever heard in my life. Do you have that on your website? Do you have that somewhere where I could see a picture?
There are a couple on the website. If you go to the website and there's like the art tab at the top,
Yes,
I
I
have
see
kind of my
it.
portfolio, and if you scroll down, you'll see some in like the gallery, but then I do have a specific button towards the bottom to learn more about geodes specifically.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up because this is so cool. Like you said, confetti geode, and I'm like, what? I need to go look at this. Whoa, that is awesome. That's so cool. How do you, okay,
yeah.
take me into this. What is this made of? How do you do this?
So I've been making these for a number of years. I actually have a DIY, I think, on the website from many, many moons ago. But it's
Hmm.
canvas, and then I adhere the confetti onto the canvas, and then I use plaster strips, cover it, and then I paint
Ah.
it, and then add the gold leaf. Um, and the whole idea to me, like I just again, I love how they look. Like there's just something about it that is
Hmm.
so satisfying to me. The process of making them is very satisfying to me. But also kind of the meaning behind it. And again, as we talk about like embracing the messy parts and that it's not all about just kind of happy things. And as it says at the top of this page, it's the idea of like, joy exists within the hard stuff. So, if you think about
Mm.
the idea of like, oh, this confetti is coming out of a rock is obviously what it's meant to look like. Um, just that concept that, even if there is something kind of gray and dull looking on the outside, doesn't mean that there can't be a lot of color and joy on the inside. And like, we want that to break through. Um,
I love that. Jessica, you're awesome. That is so cool. Look at these, you guys. Get on YouTube right now and look at these. This is so cool. I've literally never seen anything like that before. That's so awesome.
you.
And you just like had that idea and you just figured out how to make it so, right? You had one
Yeah.
of the in the zone
Yeah.
moments and you're like, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop.
I think, and again, this was like years ago that I first had made them. And I think I had seen like a geode cake where someone had made a cake and
Oh
then
yes, I've seen
geodes.
those.
And so I was like, and again, my mind always goes to confetti. And I was like, oh, like that would be cool with confetti. And so I was like, how do I make it? So I did it on the canvas and like that's really what I love. But I think on the blog, I also did a version with like air dry clay where it was like more like a paperweight kind of thing where it was actually like more like a physical rock that you could hold versus hang on the wall. But
Gotcha.
um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Interesting. That's so cool. I love that you mentioned that so that I could look that up. That's really, really great. Um, okay, so as I mentioned to you earlier, a lot of my audience, they're trying to run their business. They're trying to,
Mhm.
even if they don't have a business, like I have a lot of creatives that listen to this. Everything's chaotic, everything's stressful. The world right now just feels like messy, uncertain. Do you have any advice for them, when whether it's confetti related or not, just to kind of give them a little ray of sunshine or a little help, in this crazy time that we're in.
Yeah, I mean, I think my advice would be to embrace the messy parts, and again, it's not about pretending that the hard things aren't happening or that things aren't on fire or whatever it is, but it's about learning to find the joy amidst that. And it's not, it doesn't have
Mm,
to be one or the other. It's not like, oh, because all this bad stuff is happening, I can't be happy or I can't find joy, or if I'm happy that means like nothing bad is happening. They coexist
hmm
at the same time, and just embracing it and acknowledging like, yeah, this is messy, but that doesn't mean that I can't also see the beauty in it.
mm.
Is That's my advice.
I love it. I love it. And I think that what you do is very important and really special and also a lot of fun. And as I mentioned, I still have, some of the confetti left over from when I got it from you in 2017. So it lasts a long time. And they're these little pieces of joy and they linger long after the party's over. And that is so much fun. So Jessica, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me today. I'm going to put all the links in the show notes for everyone listening, including to your podcast and all the other things. But where can people find you and your work? How can they get in touch with you? What can they ask for you to make and what can they buy? Tell us all the things.
Yeah, all the things. Okay, so everything is at theconfettibar.com. That's where you'll find all
Mhm.
the links and all the little rabbit holes you can go down. We're the Confetti Bar on all the social media platforms. Now, I do have to admit, on those platforms, you probably won't see as much of me because we do have Alexis, our head of happiness, who does a lot of our content for those platforms, but she's amazing and great, and you'll love her. Um, my personal Instagram is Jessica Sarah Huizenga, so just my name. I don't post as much there, and it is kind of more kind of art stuff, but that's kind of my little space. And then, yeah, join our email list. You can do that on the website or at theconfettibar.com/join. And that's really the main place to stay in touch. We sell all kinds of products on this site, from custom confetti mixes, custom confetti poppers, which the poppers are really kind of our business product. And that's what a lot of
Mm.
our corporate clients, because you can brand the label, you can brand the colors. Um,
Ah,
that's a
fun.
really fun one on the business kind of marketing side. But yeah, I mean, all kinds of lifestyle products. We have apparel, we have art, we have decor, all the things that just are the expression of confetti, and the lifestyle of confetti is really what it's about.
Love it. Love it, love it. And one thing that I forgot to ask about that I just need to know.
Yeah.
Tell me about random acts of confetti.
Oh, yes. That's another one that I started a long time ago. And when I initially kind of did it, it was in a much different format. But so random acts of confetti, and we also have emergency confetti as well. But um, we sell them in these little little holographic bags where you get it's about a tablespoon of confetti, and it has a little label on it that says random acts of confetti, or huzzah, you found a random act of confetti. And we sell them in a set of 10. And the whole idea is like you just put them in random places. So put it in a library book, put it on the bus, leave it in someone's pocket, anywhere you think someone might just kind of come across it and add a smile to their day and just be that little bit of good that you share in the world. Because I know if I found something like that out in the wild, it would make me the happiest. So
Absolutely.
it's about sharing the confetti spirit. And so this is a really fun way that we like to provide an easy way for people to do it. It's all ready to go. You just have to go find some random places to put it.
I love it. And it's a little set of 10, and you also have a biodegradable version too. But
Yep.
I am so obsessed with this because I have been the lucky finder of these rocks, that you find
Yep.
sometimes out in the world. I'm showing it on camera right now, you guys. I found this Harmony rock from a group hashtag Highlands Rock On. And I also found another rock once, I don't know where it went, but with a crab painted on it. And it was
Mm-hmm.
just a little joyful moment in the day where I'm like, oh my God, like, what is this? This is so cool. So I just love that. Random acts of confetti. That's so much fun. And I live right down the road from Asbury Park, New Jersey. And
Mm-hmm.
there is a big music scene there, super creative scene. And I wish I had a picture of it ready. I don't. But a couple years ago, it had gone viral, I think on BuzzFeed or something. Someone found on one of like the lamp posts in town that was covered in like punk rock stickers and stuff. Someone had built a glass box and like adhered it to the pole, and it said break in case of emergency, and it was filled with confetti, and there was a little a little drumstick so that you could break it, and of course someone eventually broke it. I think there was glitter in there too. Anyway, similar kind of thing, just like super fun, random, like stops you in your tracks, like just for joy in the day. So I love that. um Jessica, this was so much fun. I know that everyone was inspired listening to all of these cool ideas and just like what a creative business that you have. And you're thriving. And I'm just so excited for you and seeing how everything has grown and evolved and all the different tendrils of the business, keeping things creative and giving you variety. And it's so much fun. So thank you again so much for such a great chat.
Well, thank you for having me. It was super fun. And like I said, I'm very honored to have had this conversation today.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, thank you. I'm honored to have you on here. And I have to end the way that I opened with another toss of confetti. Here we go.
Oh,
One, two,
wait, wait,
three.
wait.
Oh, okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
come to join you. Of
All right,
course,
all
I
right.
have them at the ready right here. Okay.
1, 2, 3, go. Woo!
Yay!
Thank you so much, Jessica. I will talk with you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye.